Some marriages end with papers. Mine ended with a $100 bill, slid across a white tablecloth, tossed by the man I loved for 18 years, in front of 300 people who held my career in their hands. He smiled when he did it. That's what I remember. Not the money, not the whispers, the ease in his smile, like he'd waited years for permission to humiliate me in public. I picked it up, smoothed it between my fingers, put it in my pocket. I didn't know yet that bill would outlive our marriage. The Northbridge 40th anniversary gala was my project. 6 weeks of work. I built that night hour by hour until it felt like a structure I was holding up alone. I chose the seating. I checked the stage sightlines twice. I rewrote my speech 3 times. In 4 days, the board would announce an expansion that could double the company I'd spent half my life building. I wanted it perfect. I wanted Tyler there beside me, looking like the husband of a woman who mattered. I should have seen it sooner. If I'm honest, I did see it. I just didn't let myself know it. Tyler adjusted his tie the second Chloe Bennett walked in. A small gesture. I'd seen it before with clients, never with a 29-year-old consultant in a black dress. He didn't introduce me. When someone asked what I did, he answered first. She handles operations. Like I hadn't built the systems that paid 1,200 people. Chloe called him by a nickname I'd never heard. He laughed at her jokes and barely looked at me. And I sat there in the dress I'd picked for this exact room, counting how many people were watching. I didn't make a scene. That's not me. And it wasn't going to be me that night. Not with donors watching and thousands of jobs depending on that deal. I finished my conversations. I thanked the quartet. I smiled for the people who needed to see me smile. Then, near the end, Tyler walked over. Chloe half a step behind. "No warning, are you coming home tonight?" I asked. My voice didn't shake. I wanted an answer, not a fight. He opened his wallet, pulled out a $100 bill, dropped it on the table like I was slow service. "Take a cab," he said. Then he looked at Chloe and smiled. The same smile he used to give me when we were young and broke and believed we'd figure it out together. I upgraded. The silence spread from our table. Conversation stopped. A fork hit a plate too hard. I picked up the bill, smoothed it flat. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I looked at the man I'd built a life with and said, "Then make sure you can afford the upgrade." He laughed. Pleased with himself, like I'd given him exactly what he wanted. The wounded wife, quiet, letting him walk out with his dignity and mine in pieces. He left with Chloe on his arm. Past people who'd known me 15 years. Past the life I'd built brick by brick while he told himself he'd built it alone. I finished the night, said goodbye, thanked the staff, checked the numbers. Then I went to my office and sat at the desk, still in heels, still holding that $100 bill. My phone lit up. Martin Cole. The forensic auditor the board had hired 3 weeks ago. "We found the missing payments. Your husband authorized every one of them." I set the phone down next to the bill. And in the quiet, something in me settled instead of breaking. Tyler thought he ended our marriage that night. He didn't. He removed the last reason I had to protect him. Part 2 the next morning at 8:00, Tyler walked into conference room 4 in his best suit, expecting a contract renewal, expecting to walk out with a signature. Instead, he found me, Evelyn from legal, Martin, with 3 folders, 2 board members, our outside counsel by the door. On the table, smooth flat, was the $100 bill. "What is this?" He asked. "The part of the night you didn't stay for," I said. Martin walked through it all. No drama, just facts. Duplicate invoices, shipments that never happened, a shell company called Bennett Vendor Solutions, registered under Chloe's brother, $480,000 in payments, rent for Chloe's apartment, and my signature. On a document I'd never seen. Tyler looked at me. Desperate, you had me investigated. The company investigated its money, I said. You were where the money led. He tried to make it personal. Said I was punishing him for leaving. Martin played a recording. Tyler's voice. Telling an accountant to change an invoice description so it would clear the room went quiet. Not shock this time. Verdict, you're going to destroy me, he whispered. I looked at the bill. No, Tyler, I stopped protecting you. Nathan laid out the terms. Contract suspended. Payments frozen. Cooperate or we go to authorities. Tyler didn't argue. For the first time since I'd known him, he had nothing to say. In the weeks that followed, the truth came out. To Sophie. To the board. To everyone. 12 years ago, Northbridge almost collapsed. I was the one who fixed the supply chain, renegotiated the vendors, kept 600 people employed. I used my own savings to buy into the company. That stake grew to 14% and a board seat. I never told Tyler. He didn't want to live in my shadow, so I made myself smaller. I let him say I built this. I let him believe he did it alone. The board voted. Unanimous, contract terminated. Tyler had to repay the money. He signed the settlement 3 days later. Lost his clients. Lost Chloe. Moved into a small condo. And I moved back into my house, painted the bedroom the color he hated, hung photos he'd made me hide. In December, he texted. Asked to talk. 1 coffee. No audience. He looked smaller. He apologized. Not to get me back. He asked if he could ever rebuild honestly. I don't know, I said. But it won't start by borrowing someone else's name to make yours bigger. I saw the boy from our first apartment for a second. Then I let him go. 6 months later, an envelope came. No return address. Inside, $100 bill. And 4 lines. You were right. I never understood what anything cost. I'm trying to learn now. I didn't keep it as proof. That night at the gala, I donated the first bill to a fund for financial abuse survivors. This one? I spent it. Sophie and I went to our old Italian place, the one with the wobbly table. We talked about her thesis and nothing important. When the check came, I put his $100 on top, left extra for the waitress. Why spend it? Sophie asked. You could have framed it, because I don't need to carry his insult to remember my worth, I said. I already know what I'm worth. We walked out into April air, her arm through mine. I drove home to a house that finally felt like mine. No one was waiting. And for the first time, that didn't feel empty. It felt like room to breathe. Tyler thought an upgrade meant someone younger. Chloe thought it meant someone richer. I learned the real upgrade was learning to stand in a room without shrinking so someone else could feel taller. He gave me $100 because he thought it measured what he was leaving. He was wrong, but it still bought something. Dinner with my daughter. A good tip, and one lesson I'll never forget. Dignity was never something he could take with a piece of paper. It was something I'd been building my whole life, long before he ever noticed. What would you have done in Danielle's place that night? Confront him? Or wait and let the truth speak? Comment where you're watching from. And if stories like this speak to you, subscribe. There are more coming.